and remotely on YouTube. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? And I invite those participating remotely to do the same. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with justice for all. Thank you, everyone. I'll start off with a roll call of the commission. Please verbally indicate you are present when your name is called. Commissioner Kelly?
Present.
Commissioner Laskos?
Present.
Commissioner Amato?
Here.
Commissioner Tiki?
Present.
Myself, Commissioner Harger. Mr. Rossetti, our administrator.
Present.
Ms. Castro, our assistant administrator.
Present.
And I see Mrs. Vazano.
Present.
Okay, and is that Mr. Baya with you?
No, it's Mike Canios.
Oh, my Canios, okay. Your screen is so small. It's hard to make out the features. Okay, and that's Mr. Canios, just remind the commission of your position, please.
Director of Public Works.
Okay. Very good. Okay, Ms. Vernassos, our recording secretary.
Present.
And that's it. There isn't anybody else that I missed, I don't think. No, Mr. Panico,
Present.
here you are. Might help if I wash my glasses so I can see. All right, for the record. Commissioner Parkins and alternate commissioners Onofrio and Usel and Mr. Nappy are not available for this evening's meeting. A couple points before continuing with tonight's agenda. Mr. Rossetti will act as a Zoom meeting host. Commissioners will be able to make comments throughout the meeting, and the chair asks that you please identify yourself and wait to be recognized to make sure we're not all speaking over each other, to make sure our recording secretary is clear as to who is speaking. One of the prerogatives of the chair is that I can take agenda categories out of order, and I'm doing so tonight. First category is new business, where we have 4 items to accept for review and set a public hearing. And the first is application 22-26, Dominic Thomas for Agam Ishmaeli and Shpraza Ishmaeli at 2 Mohawk Drive, Assessors Map 12, Lot 4, on 0.76 acres for a planned development district to include 40 apartments with on-site parking under Connecticut General Statutes 8-30G. Is there a motion to accept for review and for staff to set a public hearing?
Commissioner Kelly, I'll make that motion.
Okay, there's a motion from Commissioner Kelly to accept for review for staff to set a public hearing. Is there a second?
I'll make a second, Commissioner Mato.
Thank you. So on the motion from Commissioner Kelly and seconded by Commissioner Mato, I'll do roll call. Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Laskos,
Aye.
Commissioner Mato,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Motion is passed 5-0. Public hearing for application 2226 will be set by staff and will appear on the agenda of an upcoming meeting. The second is application 22-27, Dominic Thomas for 62 Center Street LLC at 62 Center Street, Assessors Map 129D, lots 50 and 51 for modification to PDD number 90 and final site development plans for retail office space with a 5-level parking garage and rooftop restaurant. Is there a motion to accept for review and for staff to set a public hearing?
So be it.
Okay, there's a motion from
Commissioner Kelly.
Commissioner Kelly. Is there a second?
Commissioner Tiki will second.
Thank you, Commissioner Tiki. So on the motion from Commissioner Kelly, seconded by Commissioner Tiki, we'll do a roll call. Commissioner Laskos,
Aye.
Commissioner Mato,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Motion is passed 5-0. The third public hearing for application 2227 will be set by staff and will appear on the agenda of an upcoming meeting. The third is application 22-28, Dominic Thomas for Recar LLC and Mayanis Holdings LLC at 704, 712, 722, and 726 River Road. Assessors map 22, lots 1 and 2, and map 32, lots 16 and 17. For a modification to PDD number 66 and final site development plans to increase the size of the PDD from 8.645 acres to 11.981 acres. Relocate and increase the size of the previously approved restaurant and event facility at a 7,800 square foot office building, reduce the 102 previously approved apartments to 90 apartments, and add 35 condominium units to the existing PDD site. Is there a motion to accept for review and for staff to set a public hearing?
I'll make the motion to accept
I'll
Okay,
second it.
Commissioner Mato.
okay, thank you. On the motion from Commissioner Amato, seconded by Commissioner Kelly. I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Lascos,
Aye.
Commissioner Amato,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Motion is passed 5-0. Public hearing for application 2228 will be set by staff and will appear on the agenda of an upcoming meeting. The fourth is commission action for a re-subdivision of 58 more or less acres, assessors map 105, lots 11 to 14, map 104, lots 25, 28 to 31, and map 91, lot 29, in the area known as the Mass property. The area zone IA1. This re-subdivision is planned for future industrial development. Is there a motion to accept for review and for staff to set a public hearing?
This is Commissioner Kelly. I'll make that motion.
Okay, is there a second?
This is Commissioner Lascos. I'll second it.
Thank you. So on the motion from Commissioner Kelly, seconded by Commissioner Lascos, I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Amato,
Aye.
Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Lascos,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Motion is passed by a vote of 5-0. Public hearing for the commission action will be set by staff and appear on the agenda of an upcoming meeting. All right, now we're going to move to agenda item 8, other business. Item A, 824 referral for the city to acquire property identified as assessor's map 153, lot 9, consisting of 8.14 acres in an R1 zone for open space contiguous to 67 other acres of open space. Mr. Rossetti, do you have any information for us on this 824 referral?
I do. Just pulling up a map for everybody.
Sure.
Okay. Pretty straightforward. The parcels in blue are currently owned by the city, and parcel in green is before us tonight to accept and acquire as open space. So we would have a nice long stretch for resident use, natural wildlife, recreation. Yeah, I see Tom Harbin's on tonight, so I'm sure hopefully they'd be happy. But that's
can
it, just
see
kind of
on
a
the-
continuous park.
Yep. Now, look, I can see on the right where it says Indian Well Road. So for everyone to get an idea of where this is, as you go up River
Correct.
Howe Avenue and it becomes Leavenworth Road, you would go by the entrance to Indian Well. Can you put that back up?
Yep, sorry, I don't know why it,
And I think everybody would be familiar with on the left side of the road, it's pretty hilly and there is a lot of brush and trees and everything such. So there are 1, 2, 3, 6 houses that back onto lot 154-6, and one of them actually backs onto 153-9, which is a subject property. So this would increase that already
If you-
existing open space.
If you'd like, I'm sure Tom had his hand raised.
Mhm.
Good
Okay,
evening.
go ahead, Mr. Harbinson, identify yourself for the record.
Sure. Thomas Harbinson, speaking as chairman of the Conservation Commission. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I know Attorney Visano probably has as much information as we've provided her, but a little history on this area. We acquired a piece of open space, which we referred to as the overlook. And then we had an adjacent parcel, which was above the overlook and then aside the overlook. And there was a property owner nearby who saw what we were trying to accomplish with a greenway corridor. That's part of our open space plan. As you can see, these parcels compile together to create a corridor that creates a natural buffer, wildlife migration. I'm not sure that there would be a trail system in there. It's pretty steep, but continuing this corridor up towards the north along the Leavenworth Road is in our open space plan. We had actually looked at this parcel once before and had applied for a grant, but due to some complications, that was not pursued. But we recently reached out to the property owner, and we're looking to get your favorable referral on this direction.
Okay, Mr. Rossetti, have anything to add?
That's it.
Okay. Do any commissioners have any questions for Mr. Rossetti or Mr. Harbinson? Okay, hearing none. Is there a motion for a favorable referral?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, there's a
Commissioner
motion
Kelly.
from Commissioner Kelly. Is there a second?
I'll second Commissioner Matto.
Okay, there's a second from Commissioner Amato. So on the motion from Commissioner Kelly, seconded by Commissioner Amato, I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Amato,
Aye.
Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Laskos,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. The motion has passed 5-0 for favorable referral on agenda item 8A. Okay, now we'll go back to agenda item 4, applications for certificate of zoning compliance. We have 4 signed applications. Commissioner Amato, I understand that zoning subcommittee met last week to review the 4 applications. What's the recommendation of the zoning subcommittee for the first one?
Oh, you want to go through them one at a time?
Yeah.
Maybe we can put them on the screen. Yeah, we met last Thursday with Alexandria, Peter, and Ruth. What is the, okay, the Dogtopia. Yeah, I don't know if you remember that the Dogtopia had tried to put their whole sign over the
Yep.
doorway, and it didn't fit within the column effects.
Mhm.
So they changed their plan so that the logo would go over the door and the sign would go to the right. So we had
Okay.
no issue with that. Although it was noted that the logo on the side of the building was larger, and maybe they would like to make a switch so that the larger
Mhm.
one would be on the front door. That was our only suggestion on that particular sign.
Mhm. Okay, any
And
questions?
Peter, if you have anything that I forgot, please pipe up.
No, that's what I recall.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all in overall favor of it, the changes.
Yeah, thank
Mhm.
you.
This is Alexandria. I spoke with the applicant and they did send over an updated version with the notes from the subcommittee. So they went with the larger sign for the D. They didn't necessarily extend this sign any bigger because it was going to be in the sight line of the store next door. So they did take the recommendations and make the center logo bigger.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just the logo becomes bigger, but the Dogtopia wording on the right stays the same.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we only really addressed the logo.
Mhm. Okay, any questions for Commissioner Amato? All right, if not, is there a motion to on the Dogtopia sign application?
I'd like to make a motion to approve as noted
Okay, there's a,
by Mrs. Castro.
okay, there's a motion to approve with the changes noted by Ms. Castro from Commissioner Laskos. Is there a second?
Commissioner Kelly, I'll second it.
Okay, so on the motion from Commissioner Laskos, seconded by Commissioner Kelly. Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Motto,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Commissioner Laskos,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Motion is passed 5-0. Okay, Commissioner Motto, what's the subcommittee's recommendation for the second application, Shelton's Smoke Shop?
Can we get that up? Yeah, thanks, yeah. Yeah, we were pleased with the change. I don't know if you all recall, there was a very busy looking signs on either side of the door with some, I guess, cannabis design under the lettering. So this is the new proposal. We did ask that the neon signs be removed from the window. And that was it.
Okay. So that's the two sections up above each window, one that says Shelton, one says smoker. The previous
Right.
one had like a branch underneath it, a
Yeah, it was very busy before, so this is
Yeah,
little cleaner.
stepped
Yeah.
back.
Okay.
yeah, the windows are still busy, but unfortunately, they have etched glass there from previous business that was there. So I don't
Yeah.
think they can really alter that.
Yeah, they would have to take and put a new glass panel in there.
Mm.
But the previous occupant was a hair salon.
Yeah.
And that's what the Avita is referring to, is some of the hair care products that they sold. So, yeah, it's too bad only because the etching around it is very Victorian looking to me and would
Yeah.
blends in with the building. So, okay, any other comments on this application from anyone? Any questions for Commissioner Amato? Is there a motion to approve the Shelton Smoker sign?
Does Commissioner Laskos like to make a motion to approve?
Okay, before we continue, Ms. Castro, did you have any comments?
No, I did relay about the neon signs and that was it. They said they would take them down.
Okay. All right, so there's a motion to approve from Commissioner Laskos. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Commissioner Amato. So on the motion from Commissioner Laskos, seconded by Commissioner Amato. Commissioner Laskos,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Amato,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Motion is passed by a vote to 5-0. Commissioner Amato, what's the zoning subcommittee's recommendation for the next one, maximum nutrition? This looks like it's up in Shelton Square.
Yeah, on this one, couple of things. We thought the lettering, the nutrition lettering was too big. So we asked that be reduced from 22 inches high to 18 inches high. And also to remove the shakes, energy drinks, teas under there. So it would just be the name of the company, Maximum Nutrition.
Mhm.
And if they wanted to add that kind of items, they could put that on their
Mhm.
storefront
Mhm.
on the glass door.
Okay. Anyone have any questions for Commissioner Amato? Oh, yeah, that looks much cleaner looking.
Yeah, that's what we discussed.
But the nutrition height would be 18 only?
Yeah, that was,
Both lines
it
would be.
makes the whole
18.
thing look better, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, but the second line would be 18 inches as well.
Nutrition would be.
No, the nutrition would be 18.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, line
Yeah.
two.
Okay. Ms. Castro, you have any comments on this one?
The applicant did ask, being that the neighboring stores such as Sports Clips Next Door says haircuts, if she can still continue to keep this. It was a request that I present that. The shakes, energy drinks, and teas.
Well, we did discuss the fact that we haven't been, totally consistent on some of that, but I think the consensus we reached is that we have to kind of draw the line somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and that we don't really want to have the signs be that busy.
Yeah, I think Commissioner Parkins was in agreement that that was against our regulations.
Right. Okay. All right, if there isn't any further comments, questions, or concerns, is there a motion on the maximum nutrition sign?
I'll make the motion to pass it as pictured here.
Okay, so there's a motion to approve using the just maximum nutrition 2 lines with each letter height as being only 18 inches from Commissioner Amato. Is there a second?
Commissioner Kelly, I'll second it.
Okay, so on the motion from Commissioner Amato, seconded by Commissioner Kelly, as indicated with an 18-inch high letters. I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Laskos,
Aye.
Commissioner Amato,
Aye.
Commissioner Ticky,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Motion has been approved by a vote of 5-0. All right, Commissioner Amato, the last one is smoke shop. And what's the recommendation on that?
Yeah, there were quite a few alterations that we decided we would like to see. Let's see. I don't know if you see the red and white lines on either side. We want those to go. The 420 refers to the address. And I think, how did we decide? That should go over the door where the welcome sign is. So the name of the business is Smoke Shop and More. So that's all we wanted to see on the across the top. I think we suggested that the and maybe should be white, but that's their choice.
What about that little hookah?
Yeah, removing the hookah too.
Oh yeah, right.
That goes, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Removing the hookah. Yeah.
All right, smoke shop and more. Got it. Anything else?
There's a side of the building.
Yep.
This is the updated version based on the recommendations.
Oh, they went with all red.
They
Mm.
did choose red, and they presented me with the DBA that the business is listed as 420 Smoke Shop.
Oh, okay. We weren't clear on that. But I see they got the red lines up there again. That's not what we agreed to.
No
You know,
lines at
either-
all.
It was recommended as white.
Was it, Commissioner Amato, was it to be, the lines to be removed?
Just
altogether?
gone. Yeah, gone. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I recall also.
Yeah.
And the lettering and the numbering should be white too, am I correct? Is that what
Well,
you-
they can, apparently we don't have the power to regulate the
Oh,
color.
Okay,
No.
So they're going for max effect, I believe it looks like.
yeah.
So when
I
we
guess.
kind of trimmed it down,
I
and
wonder
they
if
came
they,
back with this, with, they're trying to keep the red lines up there. I don't, if that's part of the sign. We
I
didn't
don't
want
think it's
that.
necessary to have those lines there. If you look at the side view, they're not there and it looks a lot neater, cleaner. So. how does-
Yeah, so,
So the recommendation of the zoning subcommittee is to, based on the previous version, it would be to remove the horizontal signs altogether. So, and everything else pictured on this revised version would stay the same.
yeah, yes, yeah, that's their name, because that wasn't clear in their, I guess, on their application.
Right.
I mean, I guess they could just say we're painting the building red up there. I don't know. But yeah,
I wonder if they realize.
as part of the sign, we're not for it.
Yeah. I just wonder if they realize the high school color scheme is orange and black. So, okay, is any other further comments, questions, or concerns?
Yeah, I do. The facade where they have the sign, in the front, it's 14 inches, and the side, it's 12 inches, but it's the same, physically, it's the same length all the way around, or the same depth. So why are they changing it as far as letter size?
Probably to fit it. I mean, it,
No, because if it's in the front, it just returns right around the corner.
I'm not sure what you're saying.
What's the next page, Alex? Do you have another page there?
This is
There
just
you
one
go.
page.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
the height of the sign is 14 inches in the front.
Okay,
The height of the sign is 12 inches on the side, but it's the same area it's fitting on front and back.
One is 30
The
feet
same
long.
length,
one
you
is
mean?
12.
Well,
Not the length. not
if you look at
length.
the wall, if you look at the further down, the wall size, they're both 15 inches. So you're right, it does wrap around. It's the same dimension.
Same dimension.
I think he's.
So I don't know why
referring to the
one
height
says
of the
14 and
letters,
one
though.
says 12.
Where
Why
do you
is it-
see the 14?
In the picture
Oh, I see it now.
up on the right side of the
Yeah.
left photo.
I think the 12 and 14 refers to the height of the lettering, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, but so does the,
Because the facade is the same height.
yeah,
Yes.
well, that's what I said.
Hmm.
Facade's the same height, so why is there a difference height in the sign?
The reason they shrunk to the 12 inches is to be able to fit their name in it. Because if they went to the 14, it would be too long. And
Yeah,
as it is, they took out the and more.
Well,
right.
that
Yeah,
wouldn't change
yeah,
why the height of the sign is
yeah.
different. Why the 2 inches?
Quite frankly, it
That would
looks
be on the
crowded
left.
up there.
It looks what?
It looks very crowded.
Yeah, the front, yeah.
Mhm.
And even the side looks,
Ms.
Well, maybe
Castro,
they
what's the legal name of this again that they showed you?
Their legal name is.
what side street is that?
Center.
Center Street.
That center?
Yeah,
Oh, boy, right in the heart
420
of
Smoke
downtown.
Shop.
420 Smoke Shop is the legal name.
Yes.
So why don't we truncate it to just 420 Smoke Shop in the front and on the side?
Right.
I think when we discussed it, we thought their name was Smoke Shop and More.
Right.
Right.
But if it's not, then I think, yeah, the and more should go.
Mm-hmm.
It would look a hell of a lot better without the and more.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
All right,
no
so-
no red stripes.
No.
It seems like they're trying to push their point here.
Well, they do have competition up the street. So,
I
in
know,
other
but
locations. So, yeah. All right. Do we have a consensus? Then the no horizontal signs on either side, lines rather.
Lines.
420 Smoke Shop is the name of it in the front. 420 Smoke Shop is the name of it on the Center Street side. That's about it. Any,
yeah, I'm still saying, are you going to see the difference in the size of the sign? Not the length, but the height,
the top to bottom, yeah.
top to bottom for the 2 inches on each side. I'm just not why, it's not uniform.
Yeah, this is Commissioner Lascos. I think we should just tell him it's 12 inches on both.
Yeah, keep it uniform.
Yeah,
Okay.
because if it's 14 on a 15, that's a half an inch per side, top and bottom. It
Exactly.
doesn't, it looks gonna look bad.
Yep. Okay. Anybody have any concerns about that then? All right, well, is there a motion from a commissioner?
Yeah, let's make that motion, Commissioner Kelly.
Okay, so that's a motion to approve. And with the eliminating the horizontal signs on either side, truncating the name over the front entrance to just 420 Smoke Shop, and the letter height will be 12 inches
Uniform letter height, right.
on both the front and the side. Okay, did I
Right.
hit everything?
I
All
think
right.
so.
Good. Commissioner Kelly's made that motion. Is there a second?
It's Commissioner Lascos. I'll second it.
All right, so the motion from Commissioner Kelly, seconded by Commissioner Lascos. I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Lascos,
Aye.
Commissioner Amato,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Motion has passed by a vote of 5-0. All right, now we're going on to,
Could I just say, we also discussed the thrift shop signage. Did that get dropped off the agenda for some reason?
no, it wasn't included. It was an oversight. And we,
Oh,
because it's a special meeting, we cannot add it.
no, okay.
It'll be on the next one. All right, so just hold that thought, Elaine, and then we'll
Yeah,
on that
okay.
next time. All right, so now we're going on to application 22-20 under old business, Dominic Thomas for Kirchhoff Acquisitions LLC at 915 to 917 Bridgeport Avenue, Assessors Map 8, Lot 13 on 3.11 acres in an OPD zone for a planned development district for a self-storage facility, business and professional offices, warehousing, and distribution facility with business offices. The footprint of the proposed development remains predominantly the same. This application had its public hearing on September 21st, and it was continued to October 26th. And at that meeting on October 26th, additional comments about storm drainage, the dumpster enclosure, handrails for the sidewalk at the adult daycare entrance were made by the applicant's engineer. 2 members of the public spoke. The public hearing was closed. Staff did prepare a draft resolution for review and possible action. If after review of the resolution, the commission feels additional discussion is necessary, we certainly can delay action on the resolution to an upcoming meeting. We technically never did have a discussion between the commissioners on it, this one. So do commissioners want to have Mr. Panico go over the resolution, and then we'll take it from there as to whether or not we take action on it tonight?
Before we take action, can I ask a question?
Sure you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know, did the administration receive a letter from the Beaver Dam Association with, from their engineer about the drainage, and has that been addressed?
Is that what Mr. Pavia brought up at the October 26th meeting?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Rossetti, did anything come in from the Beaver Dam's engineer?
I didn't see anything, but just because Charlie brought it up, I'm gonna double check right now.
Sure. I think he did say, you know, I submitted it recently and we weren't too
Yeah,
sure
right.
because it was a Wednesday night meeting. Did he mean over the previous weekend, previous 2 days?
Right, and that's why I kind of wanted to keep it open just in case the letter did come in and, you know, maybe the engineer for the project did miss something and we, you know, we approved something, we'd be liable for it.
Right.
So,
Just keep in mind that now that the public hearing is closed, it would have to be anything in that letter would have to be dealt with at a staff level.
Yeah, I just double checked everything. Just looking at the project folder again.
So you're checking for emails from Beaver Dam or Mr. Pavia? Or something that references?
yeah, well, he said he submitted a letter, so that's what.
Bottom line, though, Commissioner Kelly, is the applicant took steps to both improve the quality of the runoff as well as moderate the rate of runoff.
Yeah, I understand that.
And the concern that they expressed at the public hearing was they did not want to make it any worse. And I think the commission's in a position to decide, if you wish, that the proposal contains provisions which should enhance the quality of the runoff and moderate the rate at which it gets discharged. So there's nothing evident on those drawings that would indicate that it's going to aggravate off-site conditions.
Oh, correct. I agree with that. I just was wondering, if they were addressed and what did he see that someone else didn't see?
Mhm.
There were comments, I just found them, there were comments. They were sent off to the city engineer, and the city engineer is will still approve these plans when they come in for building permits. He's satisfied that they will A, reduce runoff, and B, improve stormwater quality.
Okay, that was the city engineer's comments.
Correct.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay,
Essentially, they're going to install an additional infiltrator, and this is not increasing impervious coverage.
Okay,
So
fine. Thank you.
all right, so, Mr. Panico?
All right. You want me to run through the draft? then?
Resolution, yeah,
Sure.
Mr. Rossetti, do you have that to put up on the screen? Is there something above it?
No, just the introduction part.
Here we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay.
Before I get into that, you'll note in the resolution that that we were not privy to the final reports from staff. I'm sorry, from the city engineer and from the fire marshal. My understanding is some of that report information just came in this afternoon. But there are provisions in this resolution that the applicant must satisfy all the requirements of both the fire marshal and the city engineer, and for that matter, any other members of staff. So you're covered if you just decide to act on it.
All right. Mr. Rossetti, it disappeared from the screen.
yeah, sorry, there it goes.
Okay,
Okay, well, this is application 2022 of Kirchhoff Acquisitions LLC, and they're looking for initial and final site development plan approval and the adoption of a PDD. And what they're doing is they're taking an existing building and enlarging it by adding three additional stories over a component of the building. The applicant petitioner proposes to establish a planned development district PDD on a 3.11 acre site fronting on the northwesterly side of Bridgeport Avenue, extending to a depth of approximately 300 feet. The site is in a mixed commercial land use area with retail and other commercial uses in the vicinity along Bridgeport Avenue, multifamily residential to the rear, and transient residential to the south. Recent commercial development immediately to the north includes the Little Barn Restaurant, the Strong Start Daycare Center, and other businesses. The site enjoys a total of about 400 feet of frontage on Bridgeport Avenue, Connecticut Route 714. The site is essentially level and it's currently developed with a multi-tenant 32,200 square foot single-story building and its supporting parking. Property is currently owned by 917 Bridgeport Avenue LLC. The applicant proposes to modify and enlarge the existing 32,200 square foot single-story building by slightly increasing the footprint by approximately 6,000 square feet and adding 3 stories to the front 25,500 square foot portion, resulting in a total square footage of approximately 115,000. The single-story portion of approximately 12,000 square feet will be occupied by the existing child daycare center and adult daycare facility, and the remaining 102,000 square feet will be devoted to a climate-controlled, secure self-storage of 770 units. Existing parking to remain is well in excess of that required by the current tenants and the proposed self-storage facility. The proposed additional development of the site by adding floors to the existing building will not necessitate any additional site work. Ample existing parking, well in excess of that required by current tenants and the proposed self-storage occupancy, is now available, And the only proposed expansion is the creation of 2 handicap accessible spaces in the vicinity of the main entrance. Site access exists from Bridgeport Avenue as well as from the abutting private drive known as Avalon Drive. Driveway access and circulation around the building, serving parking spaces and tenant entrances already exists. Metal gates are proposed at 2 locations to control unauthorized access. The existing site development is currently served by utilities in Bridgeport Avenue. As noted, there is no proposed expansion of total impervious surface, and the existing paved areas are served by a storm drainage system that discharges via 2 paved leak-offs into Pumpkin Ground Brook running along the westerly and northerly boundaries of the site. 5 additional new catch basins are proposed for better stormwater control, coupled with subsurface stormwater storage chambers provided at each of the leak-offs to further clean up the stormwater discharge prior to it entering the brook. The proposed building enlargement does not involve any inland wetland regulated activities. Referrals were made to the fire marshal and the city engineer. All of their comments must be addressed prior to final approvals. Although sanitary sewage discharge after development will be less than the current discharge, confirmation from Shelton Water Pollution Control Agency should be obtained. Application plans submitted for the proposal are entitled Initial Development Concept Plan and Final Site Development Plans for PDD 915-917 Bridgeport Avenue, Shelton, Connecticut. Prepared for Kirchhoff acquisition. They're dated 01/25/22, revised 10/5/22. They were prepared by Rose Tizo and Company, LLC, Architects, Surveyors, and Engineers, and architecturals by Remus Architecture. A duly noticed public hearing was convened on September the 21st, 2022, and that hearing was continued to and closed on October 26th of 2022. At the public hearings, a representative of the Beaver Lake Association expressed concern that the stormwater discharge from the site be handled properly so as not to negatively impact their lake. The representative concern was, and this is a quote, that the water that enters the stream be better tomorrow than it is today, end of quote. All indications from the proposed site improvements are that the quality of the stormwater discharge from the site will be significantly better than current conditions. While one resident spoke against the proposal, there were no other significant comments offered at said hearings. The applicant submitted letters of support from each of the 2 tenants who will continue to occupy the rear single-story portion of the building that's being retained. All commission concerns will be addressed. Although no formal traffic study was provided, the commission agrees with the representation by the applicant that traffic generation will be less than what might be possible under current development. As you know, self-storage facilities do not generate very much traffic. After further discussion of the subject PDD proposal and their concerns, the commission has directed staff to prepare a favorable resolution for their consideration and possible action. On the basis of the maps, plans, reports, and concerns noted above, the following resolution is offered for consideration and possible action. The resolution. Whereas the applicant has submitted a complete petition, including initial development concept plan and final site development plans with architectural designs and fully engineered site plans, statement of uses and standards, and other supporting material necessary to support the adoption of a PDD to accommodate a major modification of an existing commercial development by adding additional floors for occupancy by a proposed climate-controlled self-storage facility and the continued occupancy of existing space by an adult daycare facility as well as a child daycare center. And whereas the commission held a duly noticed public hearing on September 21st, 2022, to consider said petition and applications, which hearing was continued to and closed on October the 26th, 2022. And whereas the commission is familiar with the site and the existing development and the applicable zoning regulations and has reviewed in detail the subject proposal, the applicable provisions of the proposed PDD and all accompanying documents thereto, and subject to the comments set forth above, the commission notes the following. One, the application complies with all applicable zoning requirements as well as the specific provisions of the proposed PDD. Number two, all utilities are available and currently serve the existing site development. Three, the existing site entrance drives are adequate for the proposal, and projected traffic will be less than that generated by the prior occupancies of the existing development, and therefore will not overload the street system in the area. Existing utility services are adequate for the proposal. For all outstanding concerns of staff, the commission, city engineer, fire marshal, and other municipal departments must be addressed prior to sign off of the final site development plans. 5, said final site plan shall be revised to address the following. And I identified a few things that need clarification. A, clarification of the extent of each type of curbing. If you recall at the hearing, he said that they were going to be replacing some bituminous curbing with concrete curbing.
Mhm.
I think he should note on his plan where that's going to occur. Secondly, considered relocating the 2 handicap parking spaces to the corner of the parking strip adjacent to the building entrance. Al, could you pop up a site plan for us?
I can't. Give me a second.
I just want to point out what I meant by that comment.
Mhm.
Oh, excuse me.
If the commission remembers, directly in front of the building, between the building and the street, they were going to cut in 2 new handicap parking spaces in the vicinity of their proposed entrance. But I'm going to show you that that entrance is just as convenient to the side parking area. So why put 2 more in?
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, that's okay.
I got it. It's right here.
Okay. Okay, Al, you can, right there, those are the 2 spaces, the 2 handicap spaces that they're proposing,
Where it says transformer.
right next to the transformers.
Yep.
And they have to go to an entryway, which is about 2/3 of the way down the front of the new building. Okay. On the left-hand side of the building, there's a whole row of parking. The left hand. No, the other way. Yeah, right there, Al. There's no reason why he can't put them in this corner, and it's very convenient to the entryway, and just clean up his sidewalk formulation in there. I mean, why bother adding more pavement if we don't really have to? He's got an excess number of parking spaces anyway. So I think it's worth considering. If he's got a reason why that won't work, we'll be happy to listen to him.
But those 2 handicap spaces in the bottom left corner would be for parking vehicles where the occupants would go into the entrance right there in the front.
But the entrance is over on the corner. You see where it says FF 242?
Oh,
Towards the corner? Yeah,
Yeah.
right. That's where the entrance to the building is.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So if they can go to the left and create them closer to that entrance
Yeah.
than where these
Yeah.
are being proposed.
Yeah, that should
It
be-
doesn't seem to make any sense because they don't need the spaces.
Right.
So
Yeah,
they can clean that up and clean up the sidewalks in that area.
Mhm.
C, where I'm asking them to provide details of the proposed metal lift gates and the related fencing. You'll notice they put 2 sections of fence across the side to limit access around the building. I just think the commission ought to be provided with some of the details.
Alex, do you want to shift the site plan so we could see those?
Yeah, just if you can just back away from that same drawing. You can see it right. They're both on the right-hand side, and you'll notice they're right about the back of the corner of the new addition there. Okay. Regarding that, the applicant just got a report from the fire marshal the middle of this afternoon, questioning those gates. So they will have to work with the fire marshal and get that resolved. Apparently, the fire marshal thought that that was going to impede circulation around the building. If it's going to happen here, then we've got to back up on a couple of previous proposals where we asked the applicant to put in those kinds of gates. So they will work with them and they'll have to resolve all of those issues.
Mhm.
The next item was I asked them to clarify the pavement limits in the area of the dumpster enclosure. I mentioned that before. Right now, they're showing the old pavement lines. Once they decide how the pavement's going to get ripped up and torn up, they should show it. And the detail for the dumpster enclosure has a passenger gate, if you will, from the back. It's right now on the detail sheet, it's just an opening. It really should have a gate on that opening.
Mhm.
And then on E, I'm asking them, since they're going to be breaking the existing pavement to put in new catch basins here and there to create various things, you're going to have a combination of old pavement, new pavement. I think to make it all look well, when they're all said and done, they should put a seal coat on everything and make it all look nice and new. That's what I've said on E. F, on the landscape plan right now is rather meager. And it's quite frankly, it's difficult to decide whether it's adequate or not. So I'm willing to say, okay, we'll recognize it as being adequate, providing we have that note on the landscape plan that not only assures the minimum survival period, but it recognizes the commission's right to ask for additional supplementary planting if and where it's deemed necessary. That's not new. We've done that before whenever we're not sure about the quality of the landscaping plan being adequate.
Alex, can we have the resolution back up, please?
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, then with that behind us, now therefore, on the basis of the above, the representations that were made at the public hearings and other discussions of the commission, the Shelton Planning and Zoning Commission hereby takes the following actions. In accordance with the provisions of section 34 of the Shelton zoning regulations, the subject final site development plans are hereby approved subject to the following. A, modification and revision as needed in response to all concerns noted above and any outstanding concerns of the commission and its staff. No permit shall be issued for any site work or building construction prior to the endorsement of the final approved site development plans. B, provision of specifics concerning exterior finishes and the submission of samples of exterior materials and finishes if requested by the commission.
Alex,
They provided a lot of pretty pictures of what it's going to look like. And you may want to know a little bit more about exactly what are these materials. Okay. Shall I go on?
Yeah.
Mr. Rossetti, could you just drop that a little bit? This portion wasn't on the screen as Mr. Panico was reading it, just to give the commissioners a chance to look it over.
I just got through reading B.
Right.
Okay. The next stipulation would be under C, the full satisfaction of any final comments and concerns of the city engineer, the fire marshal, the local traffic authority, if we get any comments from them, and other applicable municipal boards and commissions. That's just to cover us if something is requested by the city, we have the right to impose it. The D is regarding posting of appropriate bonding in an amount to be determined by the commission to assure the installation of required sediment and erosion controls, which is really pretty much limited to where they're installing new catch basins, et cetera. And as well as the completion of critical site improvements. We want to make sure before they start opening this thing that everything is done according to the plans.
Mhm.
Item E, on the basis of the conditional approval of the final site development plans, subject to the stipulations and conditions set forth above, the subject PDD is hereby adopted for the reasons found in the discussion preceding the motion and shall be identified as PDD number 105.
Okay, before we go on, and I open it up to the commissioners for any questions, I did have one. In the last whereas, we have 5 numbered paragraphs.
Let's see, the last whereas, yep.
In number 3, we talk about the existing site entrance drives are adequate for the proposal and projected traffic will be less than that generated by prior occupancies.
I'm sorry, I thought you said, are we on page 4?
My paging is different because I enlarged my font.
All right, well,
The one that says whereas,
okay,
yeah,
the first
well,
whereas.
here, it's highlighted on the screen. It's under the whereas the commission is familiar with the subject site,
Yeah,
and then you have 5 numbered lines.
okay.
We're on number 3.
About the site entrances?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, if you can't read that, the halfway through, it says the proposed projected traffic will be less than that generated by prior occupancies of the existing development. Is it
Yeah.
prior or current? Because
No. Well, by that particular development today is not 100% occupied,
no, it's not.
but at 100% occupancy, it will have generated traffic higher than the proposed storage facility.
Okay,
That's what I was trying to say.
okay. All right, any commissioners have any questions for Mr. Panico?
I'm good.
Me too.
Commissioner Tiki, Commissioner Laskos?
Seems good to me.
No questions.
All right, so is it the consensus of the commission to act on this tonight?
I
Sure.
would say yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, as it appears that there is a consensus for the commission to proceed with this, is there a motion to approve the resolution?
Madam Chairman, I guess we didn't put into the record the final
Date.
sentence
The
about the
time,
approvals
Yep.
and modifications becoming effective on Friday, and I wanted a date from Alex as to when this will
Sure.
be going
Friday the 18th.
November 18th.
in.
Okay,
18th?
yeah, week
Okay.
from Friday, okay. All right, so is there a commissioner that wants to make a motion to approve the resolution with an effective date of Friday, November 18th, 2022 at 8 a.m.?
I'll make that motion, Commissioner Kelly.
Okay, is there a second?
Commissioner Laskos, I'll second it.
Thank you. So on the motion from Commissioner Kelly, seconded by Commissioner Laskos. I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Motto,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Laskos,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Motion has passed by a vote of 5-0. Okay. So now next on the agenda, what we'll move to is the public portion. If there's anyone from the public who would like to comment on an item not on the agenda, please use Zoom's raise your hand feature or dial *9 on your phone. Mr. Rossetti, is there anyone indicating that they would like to address the commission? Oh, raise your hand for Mr.
Yep.
Harbin.
Tom Harbinson, 15 Soundcrest Drive.
Mhm.
I have a couple items to cover. So I'll be pretty quick, but one of them will involve maybe picking Tony Panico's brain as to how PDD regulations work. So
Okay.
that'll be the last one. First, I wanted to reference a concern I had for a restaurant on Howe Avenue, Amici's, which continues to block the sidewalk substantially with planters and tables to a degree that it makes it impassable for a wheelchair.
Mhm.
And I understand that these expansions proliferated during the pandemic, but I'm not sure how long they were allowed to continue. And certainly they shouldn't be to the extent that it prohibits a pedestrian move it down the sidewalk.
Mhm.
Additionally, there continues to be perpetually an antique Fiat car parked in the space in front of these sidewalk dining locations, which may give a sense of safety to the patrons, but it is taking up valuable parking capacity from other businesses in the area. I brought this up a couple months ago, and I have not seen it addressed.
Okay.
When I brought that issue up, I also talked about the pedestrian signalization that was created during the development of the building that's where Common Grounds is located.
Okay,
And I
Mr.
noticed this-
Harbison, can you just hang on a minute? Can I ask, Mr. Zetti, what is the situation with Michi's Restaurant? Has staff gone out?
Yes, they have. The vehicle is a matter for the police department. It's a registered vehicle that's allowed to park on a city street spot. I don't have much else to add for the vehicle as far as public access way and ADA compliance, et cetera. We've had zoning personnel out there and do inspections. There hasn't been anything we can act on as of yet, but they typically make their rounds every other week or so. So I'll put it back on the list to make sure that someone goes out and takes another look.
Why would you feel that there is no action that can be taken as of yet? I thought in the regulations we had something having to do with the width of the sidewalk. And we've had this before on Center Street where there were sandwich boards put up. And we insisted that those be removed because they were impeding pedestrian access. So if I would ask that staff visit them post haste one more time, and then if you have to refer this to Corporation Council for something in writing, please do so right away. And then the same with the car, please take it up with the traffic division.
They already have. I know that one for sure. Yeah.
Okay,
Steve,
all right,
th-
Mr.
thank-
Harbison.
Thank you for that. The other thing I mentioned last month regarding the signalization between the Common Grounds and the Pierpont block, that there was no signalization provided. I also noted that there was no curb cuts on the sidewalk with the typical raised pattern that indicates to a blind person that they're
Mhm.
coming on a crosswalk. I mean,
Mhm.
it was done to cross Howe Avenue, but it wasn't done to cross White Street. And I really thought that kind of a detail would be caught by a professional engineer's review. And so again, I say publicly, our city engineer is not licensed as an engineer in the state of Connecticut.
Mr. Harbison, you have brought that up on numerous occasions.
Yep.
The commission is well aware of it. I
All right,
don't
it
see
can continue,
what
I
the
guess.
purpose of continuing to say that is
Yep.
going to serve. So
Well,
just.
It's,
you will
I think it
address that,
exposes the
and
city to liability.
Harbison,
So that's,
the staff will address it. And
I'll
I would.
continue to bring it
request
up when I
Commissioner
see-
Setti that he do so with staff as to what caused the oversight on this. Maybe it was this like the State Traffic Commission doing these, or was it City Public Works that did these curb cuts? So could you just clarify what you're talking about with the signalization? Is it having to do with the traffic light and when it turns from yellow to green to red?
There's a pedestrian signalization post on the corner,
So the walk,
pedestrian walking, yes.
okay, all right,
And it is only pointing across Howe Avenue. It is not pointing across White Street.
okay.
And I will continue to bring this up if I see further omissions or errors. Thank
Okay.
you.
Um,
Second
Mr.
issue.
Go ahead.
And it's one that kind of puzzled me, and this is that one of the applications you received tonight, and I'm not going to talk anything about it that would relate to a public hearing, but other than the nuances of receiving an application that has apartments with it. I need clarification as to how,
Whoa, time out. Hold on a minute.
how does your moratorium work for receiving applications that have apartments?
So, really, I think I can address that. Are you referencing the one on River Road or the 830G?
The 830G.
Doesn't matter. 830G supersedes any other action the commission's taken.
I thought the same based upon a comment that was in the newspaper from Attorney Thomas. But if maybe Corporation Counsel yourself can look up on 830G-L subsection 2, it states that such moratorium shall not apply to A, affordable housing applications for assisted housing in which 95% of the dwelling units are restricted, and B,
That's
for you-
85%.
or if it's containing 40 or fewer dwelling units. So I'm not sure how our moratorium would apply for applications that.
What was the
receive
section you're
apartments.
referencing again? 830?
830G-L subsection 2, part A, B, and C.
All right, so noted. Thank you, Mr. Harbison. What else do
Very
you have?
good. The next one is regarding PDDs. When a PDD receives its initial development concept plan, my
Mhm.
understanding was that a final site development plan needed to be submitted within 6 months. Is that the case, or is there a longer period of time between a final site development plan being approved and the initial development concept plan being approved? The reason I bring that up is that I was reading an article about the former referred to as Shelter Ridge at the inland wetlands. They were reviewing it recently. And they said they had all their approvals from planning and zoning, which struck me as odd since that was 5.5 years ago. And I did not know that they had their final site development plans for that PDD.
They do not.
So according to your regulations, then their initial site development plan is null and void automatically, since the commission did not give an extension to that. It is a requirement by the commission, not an administrative issue. And I remind you that that application had 411 rental apartments within its development application.
Okay, staff will check into that. Mr. Pianico, did you want to comment on that at all?
Right off the top of my head, I know the regulations indicate that they're supposed to be submitted within 6 months. I don't recall the regulations going as far as to say anything beyond that is null and void. It doesn't, nothing gets null and voided unless it's specifically stated in the regulations. And I don't recall our saying that.
If I may quote for your regulations, 34.13, failure to submit
looking at
final site
34.10.
development plans within the specified time period or any approved extension thereof shall render the approved initial development concept plan null and void, end quote.
All right,
It's section
which one are you looking at,
34.13.
Tom?
34.13.
I have it down.
34.13, you said?
No, 34.4.3,
34.13.
13.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything
Uh,
else, Mr. Harbison?
Well, additionally, I'm not sure whether the marina on River Road had its final development plans approved either. So that may also be a null and void kind of application received tonight.
All right, staff will investigate both. Anything else?
Last item. Parking in downtown is at a deficit. And I know it was I could not speak about this at the last time because it was on your agenda, but
Mhm.
you have the latitude to provide parking at an off-site location. That's well known. But obviously and empirically, we have a deficient amount of parking downtown. Even with private applications such as the one you received tonight, having private parking that may become open to the public.
Mhm.
So I really think that the deficiency in parking downtown needs to be looked at. It's as important to the economic development of downtown as it is to remediate an industrial building and improve the roadway infrastructure of Canal Street.
Mhm.
That is all I have. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Herbinson. Have a good night.
Yep.
Okay. Anyone else from the public indicating that they'd like to address the commission, Mr. Rossetti?
Nothing else. Thank you.
All right, last call. If there's anyone in the public that would like to address the commission, please do at this time. Please use Zoom's raise your hand feature or dial *9. All right, seeing that there is none. We'll move on to the rest of agenda category 8, other business, with item B. And first, comments from the chair. Just to share with the rest of the commissioners that the commissioners Kelly, Tiki, and myself met last Friday, November 4th, to review the first half of the affordable housing plan draft that had been prepared by staff. We discussed different approaches to meet the 10% affordable unit requirement in the 830G statute. Staff has been directed to continue to work on drafting the plan. And when the final draft is shared with the subcommittee and we feel that it's ready to be brought to the entire commission, we will do so. Okay, does staff have any indication at this time as to when we could expect to meet again? Sometime in December or what?
And hopefully the next week or so.
All right, give us
Yep.
adequate time to
Yep.
make sure that we can check our schedules. Let me just ask if Commissioner Tiki and Commissioner Kelly, if you could just check your schedules for the next, I say, the week of the 13th, and just let staff know by email your availability. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so next, comments from the subcommittee chairs. Commissioner Amato, any comments from your subcommittee?
No additional comments. We had
Okay.
our meeting about the signs.
Perfect. And Commissioner Kelly, how about you?
No additional comments.
Okay. Comments from the staff. Mr. Rossetti.
Nothing else. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Castro.
Nothing.
No, I
thank
have
you.
nothing else.
Okay, Mr. Panico, you're okay? No, okay.
No.
Okay. And so final agenda item is approval of the October 19th minutes. Does anyone have any comments or changes on the October 19th minutes that were submitted?
Looked okay to me.
So,
I don't think I noted
Read
it.
fine.
Nope, I didn't have any. All right, so is there a motion to approve the October 19th minutes as submitted?
Make a motion to approve those minutes.
Okay, is there a second?
Commissioner Tiki will second.
Okay, so on the motion made by Commissioner Motto, excuse me. Seconded by Commissioner Tiki. Commissioner Kelly,
aye.
Commissioner Lascos,
Aye.
Commissioner Motto,
Aye.
Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Motion to approve the October 19th minutes has been passed with motion, a vote of 5-0. All right, ladies and gentlemen, seeing that there is no other item on the agenda, the chair declares this evening's meeting is adjourned as of 7:14 p.m. Thank you, and we'll see you on the 16th, next Wednesday.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Have a good